everybody, and welcome to MangaPod. We are a weekly podcast in which we all get together after we read all or part of a manga, and then we discuss it with friendship, love, and lots of spoilers. This week we are talking Horimiya, chapters 31 through 60. I am Erin of Happily Erin, your host, and with me is one of my lovely co-hosts as well as a very special guest. So we'll have everybody go around and introduce themselves, please.
Hey, what's up, everybody? My name's Lou from Lou Talks Anime, and this is a manga that I want to talk about, and I've been wanting to talk about it for like 3 years. Literally 3 years. I've been wanting to talk about this manga. I'm happy to be here. Lou Talks Anime. What up?
Hey, I'm Dakota, and I can't believe you actually used your fucking Photoshop paint before you used mine. I thought we were going mine. Fine. I'm Dakota Broski from Dakota Broski Anime TV. I make dumb YouTube videos. Continue on.
No, you go on. I'm doing something.
Are you really changing it?
Doing something. No, I'm.
See now
I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna say
Anyways.
Change. Just gonna.
I mean, Dakota, like the salt was excessive.
Gonna make sure. I'm just gonna put it where it belongs. Okay.
I was very salty right now, but now
It's better now. It's better now. It's great.
Oh god, that was just petty.
You did this to you, Dakota.
You did
your
this
fault.
too.
So fucking petty. All right, let's.
Dakota, I'm so happy you're back with us. Oh, if you guys have never joined us, I am actually genuinely happy you're here. Thank you for coming on, Dakota. If you guys have never joined us for a MangaPod before, what we like to do is give you a short spoiler-free description of the manga that we read, aka summary. That will be read by Dakota, and then we'll give you our spoiler-free recommendations, whether we think you should spend time going to read this manga or not. That way, if it sounds like something you are interested in and you do not want to be spoiled once you get to spoiler section, you can take your leave, go read it, and come back and watch the VOD of this on my YouTube channel. What was gonna say? Don't remember what I was gonna say next. But
Is this like the last?
Maybe this is the part where Dakota
reads the
reads
description.
the thing. Yeah.
Thank you, Lou.
Petty as fuck. So I'm just tweeting out right now where I am. So okay, I think I'm at the right place here. Hori Kyoko is a popular high school girl who, despite this big O word appearances, excels at academics and has a family-loving character complex. That's not what it says. And is a completely different person outside of school. In her workaholic parents' absence, Hori acts as a parent to her little brother since she was young. Between taking care of her, feeding them both, and housework, she doesn't have the time for the usual teenage social life. One day, Hori meets someone else, who also does not present his true self at school. Her quiet glasses-wearing classmate, Miyamura Izumi, despite his appearance at school, a bookish, quiet, and possibly an otaku weirdo freak, Hori realizes that she couldn't have not been more wrong. Outside of school, Mia is a friendly guy with many piercings and a lot of tattoos. It's actually, and he's not very good at studying, and Mia's encounter with her little brother, they have a friendship. I kind of trailed off at the end of there.
Good.
I'm not wrong.
I dig.
But...
You're not. I dig. Thank you. Awesome. Did you just purposely skip over Hwam? Or is that not in there anymore?
Wait, is this the one I did Wom on?
Pretty sure.
Hold on. I mean, you can
Wom.
go on. Maybe a different...
I'm
maybe
control effing WOM. No, there is no WOM on that page.
I swear this was because I was gone and it was Dakota, Dodger, and Lou, and I'm pretty sure. By the way, everybody, this is our second time reading Horimiya. The first time we read it was 3 years ago, basically. So It's been a long time since we visited this manga. Finally, we were able to come back to it. So let's go around on that note and do spoiler-free recommendations. Would either of you like to go first? Otherwise, I can because I was not here for the first MangaPod.
You should totally go first, Erin.
really enjoy this manga overall. Super cute. I really enjoy how progressive the relationships are, and the characters, and just like there's no bare bottoms humor. I don't think that you see a lot. You can see a lot. I do think once it takes its focus off of side characters, it kind of loses its way and some of its charm a little bit. But I thoroughly enjoyed this manga and really liked it and laughed a lot. And I think it's definitely one of the stronger, if not the strongest, shoujo romance, high school romance manga out right now. So I really like it. I think it's really funny and cute, but there is definitely moments where I'm like, you were stronger when you were doing this part. But overall, I highly recommend it and really like it. And the art is really cute too.
I'll go next. So I agree with what Erin said about the art. I think the art looks pretty good. As for like the whole storytelling in this manga, I feel like at about the part where we start reading, maybe a few chapters in, is where it kind of hits its apex, and then it just gradually declines because it starts to do something else instead of advancing the core relationship, which is, I mean, it's what the genre is romantic comedy, so it starts to stray away from that and focus on different characters. And I feel like while it's not as good as what I came to this manga looking for on the second time around, I still think it's worth reading. So I still recommend it despite not enjoying this batch of reading as much as the first batch.
Cool. Dakota?
Cool. When I first read this manga, I'm a sucker for like this cutesy, giggly shit. So I absolutely fell in love with this thing. Reading about 2 years ago, I think I caught up to like chapter like a lot, and I know it was past 60, so I had to go back and I was refreshing my memory from all this stuff, and I know what Lou means because 30 is like a really good point for where we stopped on 30 last like 3 years ago. That's a really good chunk of like manga right there. We're in like the introducing every other character at this fucking school, and what's the word I'm looking for? Like filler art, I guess. I don't know. It's really weird. It's still enjoyable though. Like I'm thoroughly getting more giddy, if not right now, than I was at the first 30 chapters. But other than that, it's just strictly pleasure right at this point than it is watching character development.
That's a good quote. It's strictly it could be about so many different things. Strictly about pleasure and not character development.
We're technically in the spoiler-free section, so I don't think Dakota is in the wrong for using that ambiguous term.
It's true.
Good job, Dakota.
Look, I do this out of pleasure for myself, and if there's one thing I can have you all count on me on, it's pleasuring myself. So, what we do now is we move on to spoiler territory, or do we just keep going with...
Yeah, we can jump into the spoiler section. If you guys do not want to be spoiled on this manga, now's the time to go ahead and take your leave, because we're going to be talking spoilers. We do ask if you hang around, you do not spoil anything past chapter 60, which is where we ended off. So I'm going to do a countdown.
Like,
Wait!
if you want...
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No.
I thought you were going to spoil something already.
So right now we're on we're on 30 to 60. If you want a spoiler free, just go watch the first episode of this like 3 years ago. We'll link in the description below.
It's all on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/happilyerin, where all the previous MangaPods are hosted. All right, y'all, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Oh.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The Horimiya ship is God. And yes, they are fucking.
They fucked, yeah!
My God. Dude, I saw that chapter and I'm like, I did not catch it the first time. I had to when I was rereading, I'm like, I've seen this scene before, but she's shirtless now. What? He's also shirt. Oh, they fucked. Okay.
I loved how they did it. It was so refreshing. It was so nice how they did it. It was just like casual, but obviously full of love and super
So
sweet and genuine. I was like, this is awesome, because usually it's such a big deal on all fronts. Like the girl was like really squeamish and shy about it, or the guy is super like really, really dirty about it, and you're just getting all these different, and just the way that they did it was really sweet. And I wish that we'd gotten more moments like that. Honestly, like I really loved.
So
not
you
the
wanted
sex,
smut?
not
You
the
wanted smut, Erin. It's not what MangaPod is about.
what?
All right. Maybe it's what MangaPod is about.
What?
All right, it's totally what MangaPod is about.
You caught me.
What?
Called out.
My God, that was great. Okay, so there's so many. Like, I understand what Lou's saying, and like a lot of this shit, I was just like, these fuckers again. Okay, whatever. Where's the next chapter at? Like, what's going on here? And it was just picture book for me for some of these chapters. But like, when the chapters were great, God, they were great.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the sports festival is good. I thoroughly enjoyed the sports festival. I like. We found out Mia has a kink.
Yes. Oh my God, the kink.
Yeah.
That is fucking godlike.
I was laughing. I was hanging out with my sister while I was reading it, and the part where they run into his three bullies from middle school, and she walks out of the convenience store, and the two are terrified of him because they know what she can do. And then she walks over, and he just slaps her. I was laughing so hard, like out of context, and just like I showed it to my sister, and she's like, he just slapped her and you're laughing about this? I'm like, no, you don't understand their characters and what makes it so funny. It's so
What every
good.
domestic violence story, you don't understand them. It's okay.
And how the one dude, the rival dude, who Mia, I just call him Mia, Izumi, he's like, you wouldn't be able to handle her, and he proves it by just going up and like screaming in her face, and then she
Like,
just
yo, you
beams.
fucking bitch, get the fuck out of my way.
And she's like,
and he was like,
"Ah!"
oh my God, is everything okay? And then she's like, oh God, bruh. Oh God.
Hori is into some weird shit.
And then it was like,
But, you know,
it was like,
We're not gonna kink shame here.
No.
She's entitled to be into her weird shit. It's just she likes to be.
Here on MangaPod.
Yeah.
Any kink
There's
please,
pro
come
kink
along
acceptance.
So there's
If we're known for anything.
yeah, no, my favorite part too was after that she was like, yo, that was really cool, but you should try hitting me. And then he's like, no, I'm good. I can't. No.
He tries for her though, which is kind of like really sweet, because you're just like knowing his character and what she's asking of him, like, you know that it's a struggle for him to do it, and you're like, wow, he really loves her because he's hitting her, and then that just makes you feel really bad.
Because even yelling at her like that in the hallway to show his dominance, he was like, dude, I did not know you were that serious about your girlfriend. And he turns around like, yeah, bitch, you're talking to me. That's right.
All right, let's go. Lou, I want to touch on you two, since you were here for the first MangaPod, your guys' feelings, like kind of refresh the viewers and me about how you were feeling about the first time you read it.
All right, so the first batch of reading was really focused on the main pairing and developing their relationship and establishing their characters and getting the audience familiar with their idiosyncrasies and just trying to get them to believably become a couple, like put them in a situation where you can realistically believe, yeah, these characters are made for each other, because that ultimately is the goal of a romance manga, is to get the reader invested in the relationship. And the first 30-ish chapters of this manga accomplish that wholeheartedly, because the main characters are the focus. The problem is it kind of falls into this holding pattern where at chapter 34-ish, somewhere around there, like early into our group of reading, they have sex.
Mm-hmm.
So where does the mangaka go from there? And that's when we start to see things like deviate away from their relationship and start to drift towards everyone that's kind of in the periphery. And they're not main characters of this story for a reason. And I feel like because of this decision to deviate from the main character, the story of the main characters, I feel like it hurts the story of the manga overall. Um, Also, I kind of feel that it gets to a point where it stops being about, like, even when we get chapters that focus on the main pairing, it stops being about like really building their relationship up, and it becomes more lighthearted. But I mean that in a very negative way, because like I feel like the mangaka that like isn't taking developing the relationship seriously. Like in the later part of the reading, there's this one chapter where Hori is convinced that she's going to be broken up with, and it's a whole chapter of that where it's kind of just played up as a misunderstanding, but like there was no real depth to that. Like I feel like it could have been built into the story earlier on, or it could, or that
chapter.
I disliked it because I feel like it was a throwaway chapter. Like they teased a breakup for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
Like that should have been something that was a little bit more substantial. Like if it's gonna end in a misunderstanding, cool. But like, I don't know. I feel like there, like, more could have been done with the ideas given to the main characters, and less time should have been given to like the 100 other side characters that decided to show up in this. Yeah. Honestly, I don't remember any of their names.
So many.
No. My theory is that like we got to chapter 30, and they became a power couple, and it was fucking great. And then the author was like, I don't know now. I think I'm done. I don't want to be done. I guess I'll keep them around. I got some characters to work with here. We can work with that, right?
I mean, the way it typically works is their goal is to stay working as long as possible. So as long as they're writing, they're getting paid.
Yeah.
So if they have a manga that's successful, they have to find ways to keep it going. So,
and I think Horimiya is like
Horimiya is really successful.
Yeah.
It's very successful.
So I would imagine that this is just within that, or keeping with that mindset of like, okay, well, we need to continue to produce content for this, and we're not ready to push their relationship further or deviate from the tone that we've established in the manga.
But here's my thing: 30 chapters is a long fucking time. Like it's a whole chunk of art this episode. So 30 chapters of nothing happening is a lot. It's damaging to a fucking series.
Yeah. It becomes very stagnant, their relationship. Once they become the couple, it becomes more of a daily life, or like daily show in the life of Horimiya kind of a thing, where it's like, here's their little adventures as a couple. So like, here's this one off of them doing this and them doing this and things like that. And some of those turn out like really cute and are really adorable. But when you get the setup of what we had in those first 30 some chapters, that's what the tone of the manga and the pacing of it is. And so to suddenly have it drop back into like a day in the life kind of one shot thing feels very jarring, I think, and off-putting.
Well, the first like 10 chapters, it's like, so from an anime perspective, you have like anime episodes, and sometimes these slice of lives will throw in like Hinamatsuri does it really well, where it's like a whole episode, but at least 2 parts of it is little skits that you obviously know are small parts in the manga. And Horimiya, it feels like if they made this into an anime, this will be the part where it's like the second season, we're running out of shit, and like the whole episode's filled with this bit by bit shit.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Oh, go ahead, Lou.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, to kind of play off of what Dakota was saying. I kind of feel like if this was ever adapted, which this does have an anime, it has an OVA, or is it ONA?
I saw that. Yeah, it's like a 3-episode OVA, but it's like 20 minutes long.
Yeah, so like I feel like if it got a full-blown, proper, fully fleshed out adaptation, it wouldn't be adapted completely in order. Like I feel like
Yeah.
It would probably end at chapter 31, but it would include content from up to what we've read,
Yeah.
which is interspersed amongst the first 30 chapters. I feel like that's the only way they could get to one course worth of anime.
Yeah. Some Edwin Moore in the chat said it feels like they tried to make an ensemble rather than a couple story after they got together. And I would definitely agree with that, where it's like all of these other characters and side characters can be done really, really well. Like there are tons of stories where you have the main couple and then you have the side characters. Alharu Ride has side couples that are done really well, and you care a lot about how they're written and what they're done, how they're done. This, I liked the characters, but I wasn't necessarily like really invested. Yeah, really invested in reading whole chapters about them. I think the characters worked really well when they played off of like some of the main characters. But yeah, overall I was like, I really just want to see more of this like main couple be really cute and do stuff together, like, and develop and grow and have conflict and stuff.
The part that stood out for me was during the sports festival where they're doing a relay race, and this like red-haired girl with pigtails is like, "Yo, he's mine if I win this race," or something like that. And I'm like, "Who the fuck are you again?" Like, I haven't seen you.
Yeah.
I thoroughly did not remember her.
Oh, I remembered her, and that's why it was so weird to me. Like, there was a moment where I was like, why would she say this? She's super dedicated to the president. Like, why would she, the class president, like, why would she say this? And then I realized, okay, they're playing with the idea that Hori is, like, really jealous. Like, it's insanely jealous over stuff. But yeah, I was like, if you don't remember who she is, then you're just like, who is this bee?
That cute shit. That cute shit with the jacket, where like it was like Mia was like being really jealous. Hori was being really jealous or whatever. Fuck, Mia's the
boy.
Girl.
Yeah,
Mia's the
boy.
Mia's the boy,
So-
Hori's the girl.
Oh yeah, okay. So Hori is like jealous ass like to the max, and then like some guy gives Hori his jacket, and like Mia's like, give me that shit. Here, take this. Yeah, and he's like, "Are you jealous?" I'm like, "No."
No.
Wait, Edwin is
Raimi, she's Raimi. She's the class president's girlfriend, the girl who said the whole yeah, she's pretty like just there. Seems to do random things. Crap, I had something. I had a thing I was going to say. So the whole love triangle drama llama between the guy who used to like Hori and the other girl friend and
then the girl with
student
glasses.
body president or student body Sakura glasses girl.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I really wish I could be more invested in him getting like having girls after him, because he's a character, like he has a character style, like his design and stuff. I always am immediately drawn to those kind of characters, and I'm like, I love you and I want you to be happy and I want you to be in ships. But him, I was like, I loved him so much when he was friends with like Mia. Like his friendship moments with Mia were so good that I didn't care about like this love triangle stuff happening. I was not invested in, I could care less who he ended up with. I was like, I kind of wanted him to be with Sakura, not gonna lie. I kind of wanted him to be with Sakura, but then at the same time, I'm like, I
would imagine that the internet, specifically Tumblr, would be kind of invested in the idea of him ending up with Mia.
Oh, totally. 100%. Oh, yeah.
My God.
No, that's totally a thing. Yeah, 100%. And I love that they play that up and they like make jokes about it, and none of them are just like, oh, that's disgusting to think about. They just like joke about it because it's obviously there's appeal to some people that are reading it. But yeah, like he's totally been shipped with Mia hardcore. Like
So
I'm gonna
this
bet.
one goes out to the girl with the glasses, because
Sakura?
Yeah. Okay. So after the chapter, if you one where he's like, "Well, we fake being boyfriend and girlfriend or whatever," and like, what is it like? The snow melts because snow melt. That chooses
The
melt.
cherry blossom snow. Yeah. So
After that moment, I'm sorry, Sakura. I don't think you got much of a chance right now, buddy. You're not looking good.
no.
I
It
love
was-
that part though. It was like, yo, why does snow melt? Because the spring comes. It's like, no, snow melts because snow chooses to melt. It's like, I'm not sure that's how that works, buddy. I don't think that's how that works.
It's like so romantic.
It's so romantic.
Yeah. Lou, what did you think about that love triangle and stuff? And him as a
I
character?
I thought if I would have read it outside of the context of this story, I probably would have liked it a lot more. But I went into like that entire chunk of reading saying, well, where are the main characters?
Yeah.
Like, why can't I pay attention to them? And that just like I read it, and I thought I'm
Yeah,
kind of like
no,
tired. Yeah, no, I'm kind of tired of the love triangle, the way it's handled in these situations.
Yeah.
I like that it led to some development, and we end up finding out that feelings are there, and it's not just based on misunderstandings.
Mm-hmm.
But again, like it took away from the main focal point of or the original focal point of the story.
Yeah.
As was mentioned in chat, like there's that whole shift towards having an ensemble cast, and I don't know, like maybe that shift just wasn't handled early enough. Like maybe the mangaka could have started building to that earlier in the story, and then that way, I'm not, as a reader, I'm not put in a position where I'm going from reading one style of manga to now being put in a position where it's totally
new manga.
different. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
I
I think
agree
the
with that,
highlight
yeah.
from that 100%. The highlight of that like three-way, that's not the right word. Love triangle is
Smut.
definitely the part where it's like, I need you to pretend to be my boyfriend. This guy asked me out, and they're like, oh sure, I'll cover for you. And the guy shows up, and he's fucking suave as fuck. Like it's just like, you turned him down? Like what the fuck?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, this is my boyfriend. Sorry, I have a boyfriend. And he's sitting there going like, nice. Yeah, I'm the boyfriend. Oh my god, I don't belong in your presence, sir. I'm so sorry.
Like so intimidated by him, and he turned out to be like such a dork, and like that whole thing just like fell kind of flat too for me. I was like, oh, he has really bad eyesight, but it's like weirdly done. Like the way that they handled it was very like, yeah, because he like has really bad eyesight. Like that's his quirk.
How much I don't care.
Quirk. Yeah, I could like care. I don't even remember his name. And then they're bringing in now Mia's the bully from middle school. Mia's
I'm actually okay
bully.
with this.
They're bringing him in,
This
which I'm okay with. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, this would have happened at like chapter 35. This would have been great, but now we're getting at chapter 60. I'm just like, I want to care. I do. This is more interesting than the three love triangle, but it's really, I'm afraid of like continuing because I feel like I'm gonna be the same thing where I just am not invested in any of this.
But at least this is like building into one of the main characters, though.
Yeah,
like that's the only like real saving grace for me, because I didn't think that story in and of itself was interesting, like just a reintroduction of that bully. But I think what really made it interesting is that it played into Miyamura's characterization, in that like we're reminded that he's changed over the course of the story, and that the story just doesn't start with chapter 1. It's a living, breathing character that has experiences that are referenced back to, and they're referenced back through character interactions as opposed to flashbacks, which I always feel like that's probably a better way of handling, like laying the foundation for characters, because I feel like it would be easier for a writer to just rely heavily on flashbacks to build up characters that have already been established. I feel like by introducing characters and having them reflect on the established characters, I feel like that's a better way of just handling storytelling, at least compared to what the norm is.
Yeah, there's this anime out, 1 Week Friends, and like as great as that anime is,
My heart.
I
I
it's
watched.
like
Sorry, we'll come.
they do the same thing. No, you're right. Yeah, yeah, no, it's fucking great because they do the same thing. It's like they have this like problem, and they have this like they address it randomly, and then it's this character walks in, and they have the interaction, the thing, and you're like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, what is the, there was an issue, there was a problem, but you're introduced to all these characters first before you're really introduced to the problem.
Yeah.
And I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Does this mean we're doing a 1 Week Friends manga episode now?
Oh my god, I would. I watched the live action. What I was gonna say is that I watched the live action of it. Yeah. No. Delta has a lot of live action, like Japanese movies. If you guys are ever flying Delta and you have a long flight that has the screen, check out their Japanese section because they have a lot of movies on there. They have the live action Gintama. They have the live action 1 Week Friends. They had one called Seto to Utsumi, which I actually really liked, and it was just these two boys sitting on a riverbank talking, and I like watched the whole fucking thing, and I loved it so much. But
I'm flying Delta to LA.
Yes. Okay, it's on. Yeah.
Watch this next week. Oh fuck.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it's still on there. I think it's still on there. But they have a lot of. I watched 3 different live action Japanese movies on our flight back from Japan and I cried on every single one. Like a big baby. But no, the live action 1 Week Friends has a lot of problems, but I cried so hard at it. But I also cried at the anime. Yeah. It's also me. So
you cry all the time.
I have like this like little bit where I'm emotionally stable, and anything above or below I'm crying.
Yeah, it's like Kuroko made this basket in this basketball anime. Holy fuck, it was great.
I cried.
Cried
Watching a music video earlier. I think it was what song was it? It was The Rose by Westlife.
Was it Despacito?
No, I don't think I cried at Despacito.
Despacito too,
I have some pride.
So back to this Horimiya romantic.
You're gonna cry though, just so you know.
Did you cry during Horimiya at any point?
I don't think so.
That's fair. So actually, my question is, how the fuck do you get tangled with legs in a futon?
Yes.
That was like, is that me being uncultured, or is that like an actual thing, or is that like?
I know that kotatsu are really heavy. I think they're like supposed to be really heavy because you have them in the winter, so they keep you really warm because they have the heater underneath, and they're also just really heavy. But I don't. Her whole dad is just weird to me.
I love it. I love it. No, it's fucking great.
Like he's great, but he's gonna be so weird.
Her dad.
I love the dynamic. What was it? It reminds you of what?
Oh, I was gonna say he reminds me of kind of like a less dedicated version of the dad from Clannad.
God, yes.
Less dedicated.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Which, like, as much as like as lukewarm as I am on Clannad, I do think that's the best anime dad.
I was gonna ask David to confirm if I cried while watching Japanese movies.
So,
anyway, go on, Dakota.
The dynamic goes basically like, "Hey, daughter, I love you," and the daughter's like, "Yo, eat shit. Don't really care. I'll feed you, I guess, but stay on my fucking like way right now." And it's not like a pure hatred. It's just like you annoy me at this point. Please leave me alone. I remember the dad's introduction into the show, a manga, and that was fucking great. That was like back in like chapter like 15 or something.
Mm-hmm. Really,
but yeah. No, I just love it. I also love how what's your name absolutely adores horror movies.
Hori.
Yeah, Hori just loves Hori loves horror.
Hori loves horror. Yeah, where where they're like, you need to act cute or he's gonna break up with you, and she's like, I don't even know how to act scared.
What the fuck's cute? I don't do cute. Oh my god.
No, one thing or no, go ahead, Erin.
No, it was completely off topic. I mean, it was about this, but it was you go.
Same. No, you go
Oh,
first.
well, I can't even remember if this was the chapter with the swimming pool. Was that in this batch of reading, or was that in the previous batch of reading?
Oh, you know what? It was.
That's
This one? Oh, I loved that chapter so much. Like, just the way that those two played off of each other while playing the teacher was just so good. I just loved that chapter. I wanted to make sure to bring that one up.
I like that this manga kind of pokes fun at traditional gender roles
Yes.
based on personality types.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the fact that Hori is very much self-reliant and depicted as, not having to depend
Yeah.
on Miyamura. I feel like that I think that for more than anything is what makes this an interesting read for me. Like, at least specific to their relationship. Because, gimmicks aside, which, I mean, Miyamura's gimmick is that he has tattoos? I mean, how relevant is that 60 chapters in?
Yeah.
Like, you barely ever see them anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, what does consistently get brought up and what consistently matters is who those characters are. And Miyamura is more effeminate
Mm-hmm.
in a way has more feminine traits or acts more feminine than Hori. And I feel like that the fact that it's not like locking itself into just traditional gender roles, I feel like it's a breath of fresh air, specifically with a Japanese manga.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. 100%.
Off topic. I am so fucking pissed at myself.
Why?
And you guys. I'm disappointed in you guys. I'm not mad at you guys. Why the fuck did we not use a thumbnail for Dodger or Yoku with the foot in the face?
Oh,
I forgot all about that. God,
That should have been Yoku.
that should have been
Honestly,
Yoku.
I think-
That
I
is
think-
a really
I don't know,
cute.
like unconfirmed, but maybe that's a thing Yoku's into. I don't know.
Let's start that rumor. Let's start that rumor for him.
Unconfirmed. It's a believable but not confirmed thing.
I can
Yoku,
imagine.
if you look, this is a message for Yokurama. If you would like to confirm or deny that, you're welcome to come on MangaPod.
Yoku, I've been to your fucking house. I know you're into this shit. So there was
Ooh my.
I love Yoku, by the way. I went to his house
Oh my God, I
and
love
I
Yoku.
opened the fridge and there's pizza and like Jack Daniels and I'm like, we're in.
Yeah.
So there was God, because we're all in relationships, all right? Let's go ahead and break that third wall.
Break that third wall.
That was
Yes.
okay to break that third wall, right? Okay, so
I don't know.
Lou.
I don't know if people know I'm married.
I think it's okay. I think
It's fine.
I think
It's
we're good to
fine.
go.
You're good, Dakota. Go.
So there was, like the whole foot thing. There's been a moment where you look at your significant other and you just look and you go, you do something weird.
Oh yeah,
and-
100%.
And you do it, and you know it's like accepted, because like they might go, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" You still were able to do it, and you can't do that with friends or whatever. It's just, and that was like a thing for me. That was like the defining relationship moment when I realized these two were like an awesome fucking couple. Was when they're just able to paint each other's fucking nails and like do weird shit.
Yeah, the
Like, I
foot
love
thing.
little shit like that.
I know. That's why I wish that they would have kept like developing more and more stuff with it. That was really cute. Yeah, it was really
What about
funny.
when the kid comes over with his friends. It's like, yo, your dad's like really young.
It's like your dad's young, your mom's young too.
I love this fucking manga. Like it's been this is not like the most exciting 30 chapters ever in the world, but there's still so much to talk about.
Yeah.
It's still it's really enjoyable still, and I think it still holds as like a really good manga. I'd love to do another 30 chapters. Maybe in the next 3 years, 2021, right?
Yeah. See you in 2021.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
I
It's off the planet.
even like I still really liked the chunk of, that we read, even though it was weaker than the first. But it didn't turn me off at all. Like I still want to read more, and I still want to know what's going to happen with these characters and what funny shenanigans they're going to get into in these relationships.
I just
too.
know the final chapter is going to be like a giant graduation ceremony with this giant photo of like all the students and all the characters, and I'm going to go, I know like 3.
Basically.
There's that one bitch, and then that one guy, but those 3.
There's skinny dude,
Yeah,
skinny class
Oh, I
president.
love
It's like
that.
I can't see.
I can't
Yeah.
see. The guy's just squinting.
I love that. It was like, yo, find the student council president. Yo, find a skinny dude. They're like fighting over him.
Yeah. And he's like, okay, I can excuse the class president one, but not the
Yeah.
other. Oh, go ahead, Dakota.
No, I was just saying, despite of how I feel out of all these like random ass arcs that happened, there's this one little punchline out of all of them that made it work. And I think that's this author's like gift, is that he can extend out these chapters and all these characters' interactions and all these little arcs. But he can always deliver at least one good punch that'll make you like kind of make it worth it, I think.
Yeah.
Per chapter, say.
Yeah.
There's always one thing to make me kind of chuckle or giddy. Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm.
What did you guys think about the art this batch?
I think the art is still consistently clean, but I think there haven't been as many like impactful moments in this batch of reading as opposed to the earlier chapters. So because of that, the art kind of takes a step back, but that's just because there haven't been as many big moments, so
Yeah, there
I
wasn't
feel
a
like-
whole lot for it to dedicate itself to.
yeah, so basically the art is kind of suffering because of the story as opposed to like
That makes sense.
like exploiting the story to like really or capitalizing off the story with the significant moments. I don't know, I can't think of a single panel that stood out to me, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think I've seen the increase. Is there an increase in funny faces? Is just me?
Having read from the beginning, it kind of seemed pretty consistent, but I think it could seem like there's more because, like Lou was saying, there wasn't as many serious. There's a lot more comedy moments.
That's fair. Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
They're really good funny faces.
Oh, that's great. Like,
Yeah.
Shit, I cannot believe you didn't use a fucking foot. Okay. Still on that. I'm still
Dakota, you can totally make that your Twitter profile picture. No one's stopping you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I paid $50 for the one I have now, so I really don't feel like changing it for a while. So
That's understandable.
shout out to Lorpo Art for doing an amazing job.
Aw.
I feel bad though, because like I think I downgraded on mine because like I saw John's, I saw Holden's, and I'm just like, I want one, but I want it specifically this, and I kind of held myself back, Lorpo back on it for doing it. But like I liked how I might do another one actually. I might pay for another one, but Lorpo's great. Anyways,
Yeah.
So art wise, that was relatable. Cool's art. Anyways, art definitely fun, definitely cool. But like Lou said, nothing. The story complements the art, and the art complements the story. And in a manga like this, it's painfully obvious.
Yeah. I agree. Agree with both of it. I really love the character design still. And I also really like the dedication to having the characters like look like they're living beings, so that they have like different hairstyles and different clothing and different things like that. So they don't all look like exactly like one another, or oh, this is what they wore the last scene or the last chapter or something. Like I really love when mangaka have characters wear different clothes, like different styles and stuff. That's just something I really love seeing. And they do that in this one, which I think is really cool. I really like getting to see the different styles of the characters. So, yeah. Do you guys have anything else? Oh, what's up? Did you have
What?
something?
No.
Oh, I thought you
I was-
pointed.
I was thinking about that too. I'm like, I was gonna say like, it's like, yeah. I mean, you could tell how much he cares about his side characters. They have a whole 30 chapters on him. I would
Yeah.
hope that he does like some sort of like individuality with them.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
Actually, I do have a critique. One small grievance about the art, and it's that the settings, none of them really have any personality to them. Like, there's nothing really that stands out
Yeah.
in the settings, or like everything just kind of like, I don't know. I feel like they could have done more with it to like liven it up a bit more to make the panels a bit more interesting to look at. I mean, I guess, you know, they don't want to take away from the focus on the characters, but I feel like something, you know, to make it at least a little bit more distinct so I can know that I'm reading Horimiya as opposed to something else. I feel like that maybe could have changed. I don't know. I feel like either it could, I don't know if it would improve the manga, but I feel like it would be a touch that I would like.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I can totally see that grievance with it because there was a lot of times when they were at different. I couldn't tell if they were at like Mia's house or Hori's house. It was just like everything looked the same, and so I totally
wait. Were they ever at Hori's house?
They not at since he got sick the first time, but there was a few times where he was there, and it takes a moment to be like, oh, you're in a different, like it looks exactly like the same house. There's not really, like we said, any detail. Even when they're in different classrooms, like it doesn't, you can't really tell.
I thought you were going to tell me that they were like at his house like a majority of the time too. I'm like, I had no fucking idea.
Yeah, they're actually always at his place.
Like, oh god.
Even when they're at school, that's where he lives. He's actually homeschooled.
Oh, they're all homeschooled. All homeschooled.
Imagination. That's a big theory there. It's all just imaginations.
Oh my gosh. Homeschooled. Amazing.
Oh,
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna ask if anyone else has anything they'd like to bring up before we do final thoughts and ratings. So, if you had something.
Nah, I'm good.
I think, God, I guess everything I'm gonna say is in the next one. All right, go ahead.
Final thoughts and ratings. Does anyone want to go first?
I'll go first. I remember my score for this manga being really high because I fucking loved it the first time around, but it's dropping considerably. I remember my score being something like a 9, some ridiculously high number last time. Now I feel like a more accurate assessment of where I'm sitting with this manga would be like an 8. And I feel like unless it takes steps to either get more comfortable with the ensemble cast that it's currently cultivating, or it reverts back to like a focus on those main characters, I feel like unless something happens, that score is going to continue to slip. It's still like the art is still excellent, and I mean, apart from that minor grievance that I voiced earlier, I don't really have any negative to say about it. And I mean, the characters are still fun to read, but like I want more from this. Like I went into this manga knowing that I enjoyed it and was introduced to a really compelling story, and now it's just kind of like fallen into just a holding pattern of slice of life when it doesn't have to be that. So 8 out of 10. Expectation of the score actually dropping, though I hope it doesn't, because I really like this manga and I would like to continue liking this manga.
This is my sister-in-law.
Hi, sister-in-law.
Wait, come on in. Hi. Come on. Hey. How's it going?
Just slowly.
We're just talking about some manga. Don't be ashamed. Get your phone out.
She's
Well,
watching.
I know you read over her shoulder. You get some opinions about it. I understand.
No, she's out.
She's out. All right. Well, maybe next time in 3 years.
It's 3 years. See you in 3 years.
Erin, what do you think?
What I was hearing of Liz, I do agree with what he is saying. When I first read it, because I first read the first few chapters forever ago, before like even we did it for the first MangaPod, and I remember loving it. I was so invested. I loved how it tackled like gender norms with the characters, and the relationship was so refreshing and all of that. And it is still all of those things, but my hype for it definitely lessened as this batch of reading went on, for all of the same reasons we've been talking about up until this point. But I think it's still like a very solid read. It's still very good. It does humor really well. The art, I think, is really cute, and I really like it. I just wish that the way that they paced having the secondary characters and relationships coming in had been introduced earlier and been done a lot better. But I still think it's a solid 7.5 to an 8. I think it's still pretty good for it. Like, I still really like it, and I want to finish reading it and read more. And I really do love the main couple, and I want more. I want to see more happening there, both kinds in terms of angsty and trials with the relationship. So I hope that happens as it goes on. But yeah, I still really love it. And think it's a solid read. So
My theory is that in the first 30 chapters, like I said before, it was, this is what we're doing, this is my idea, cool, awesome. And then, like you guys said, mangaka's got to make money, so they continue the series on. And I don't think this author wants to butcher his own series, but there's a struggle in that next 30 chapters of where, how the hell are we going to do this? So I think this is a trial period of just trying to introduce other characters, build that up, and try and figure something out. I can only hope that by chapter 60 he's figured all this out.
yeah.
Or she, whatever, is going, and they continue on. The next, I think we're at 90 now. I think we're past 90. So I'm going to read the next 30 chapters again and see where we're at. I've been trying to cheat, actually. I've been watching the one from 3 years ago and trying to figure out what I said.
You said prom.
I said WOM. I read the comments below. This is the WOM episode. Also, my head was chopped off from like right here, so the whole episode I'm talking like this.
That's great.
Oh man. But yeah, I really want to give it a 7. Actually, I don't know what I said before, but if I had to judge it now, the first 30 chapters are a solid 9, but right now we're at a 7. But I think the next 30 are promising. I have high hopes.
I want chapters in the future with Hori getting body modifications, like wanting to bond with Miyamura so much that like she goes with him one day to, I don't know, maybe go get her nipples
Get
pierced.
a small tattoo.
Yes!
Get a small tattoo.
Nipples
I'd be so
piercing.
fucking happy with it. Yes.
Or that, that's fine too.
Yes.
Nipple piercing. That's
I mean, a small tattoo is fine, it's piercing
I
the
would
nips.
love a chapter like that, actually. Jesus
That would be
Christ.
awesome. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I'd love can we just stop recording and keep talking about this fucking manga for an hour or so? Like, I'd love this shit. My God. She's like, that's your goddamn mind. Fuck that.
Forever.
Okay, going forever.
Dakota.
So I'm gonna read off what we're doing next weekend, or next week on Tuesday. So I want you guys to guess it in the comment section below. So here we are. Blank is the largest anime con around with over 100,000 fans in attendance. Grab your friends, craft your cosplays, and get ready to experience an anime like never before.
Yes. Not enough blanks, but solid overall.
Shut the fuck up. I blanked the main one out. That's what matters.
All right, guys. You know
Which,
what?
to be honest,
we should just tell them it's Battle Angel. We're reading
Battle Angel.
Hell yeah.
I don't know, Dakota, if you saw Lou and me, but both of our faces were like, what is he doing?
What the fuck is this drunk talking?
You know,
All
Dakota,
right,
with you, I've learned not.
Expo.
Yeah. No, I was just
I've
gonna say
learned
with
what?
Dakota, with you, I've learned not to be surprised ever.
Oh
But yeah.
my god.
Oh, amazing. But yeah,
But
we'll
yeah.
be at Anime Expo next week. So there will
All
be
three of us.
all of us. Yeah,
about
all three of
that?
us. So we we'll be there. So we will not be doing MangaPod next week, but we are also going to be taking all of July off just because schedules are kind of crazy. So we'll be working on the schedule for August through December, and we'll have that up sometime within the next 2 weeks. But we will be taking
Comment below if you want to see me more. I'm just, not really.
Yeah, we always want to see you more, Dakota.
That was the last 2 times you canceled.
Okay, well that wasn't because of you. At least that's
I
what we
think-
tell you.
I think he wants screen cap over his face again.
Yeah, excuse me.
That's fair.
Why
You're in
does?
timeout now, Dakota.
Yeah,
All right. That's
you'll come back when you're ready to come back.
I'm back when I'm ready.
If you have recommendations for things that we should read, we have a recommendation thread over on reddit.com/r/mangapod. It is pinned to the very tip of the top. We're working on the schedule, so I already have a doc set up, and we'll be releasing that at some point during this little mini July hiatus that we're taking.
Yeah. Yeah, so go on over there if you want to check that out. Let's go around and shout out our stuff super fast. I'm Erin of Happily Erin. I have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/happily Erin. All of the previous manga pods are hosted there. I haven't posted any other videos otherwise, but if you want to check out my previous anime reviews, first impressions, top 11-ish lists, anything, mental health awareness, stuff like that, you can go ahead and go over there. I am much more active on other social media, Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter specifically. If you want to come and talk to me, Happily Erin all across the everything. Yee. That me.
Yeah. My name's Lou, and I'm from Lou Talks Anime, and you can find me at youtube.com/Lou Talks Anime now, which is a fucking lie. I don't talk anime now. That hasn't happened in a long time. But I do talk anime on Twitter occasionally. I don't know. If you want to talk to me, that's a better bet. And that's basically it. I haven't made videos in God knows how long.
I miss them so much.
I was at a point where I was streaming pretty regularly on Twitch, but then every time I try to stream, something goes wrong. Either I get sick or a tech problem. And I've decided that I'm gonna give up on trying to stream until after I come back from AX. So once I come back from AX, I'm gonna try to stream regularly over on my Twitch channel, Lou Plays Games, because I don't have universal branding, but it's kind of fucking close.
Cool. Exon fan, if you think Erin and Lou are mean to me now, it's worse off when it's just Dodger and Lou. Like, holy shit. There's no mercy there. Hi, I've been Dakota Broski from Dakota Broski Anime TV on YouTube. I make great videos on the explanations of why The Boss Baby is the best movie in the world and why it should outbeat the movie The Silent Voice any day of the week. So if you want to follow me there, I got some great stuff planned out. If not, go watch The Boss Baby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I concur.
Yeah.
Go watch The Boss Baby. MangaPod endorses Boss Baby.
MangaPod endorses it.
Did you know that there is a Boss Baby TV series?
Netflix, yeah.
Is it on
It's
Netflix?
fucking-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
10 out of
Larry,
10
I got
anime.
a-
10 out of 10
I got a
anime.
video for you, Larry.
Emmys.
You got
All
it.
of them.
That is the greatest video I'll ever make, by the way. I can't top. I got a few planned, but I'm not going to top that one. You
Good
want
luck.
to find out? Go to my channel.
Good luck.
Good luck. Awesome. Dakota, thank you so much for coming on. You were awesome as always. Thank you. Great.
Oh,
We'll
of
have you
course,
on
it was
again
great.
in 3 years when we read more Horimiya.
And 3 years of Horimiya. We'll do 5 more mangas in between again.
And thank you.
We'll do
What?
we'll do Silent Voice again. We'll do Silent Voice 2.
More Silent
that's-
Voice.
no,
No, we finished
it's
that,
not-
didn't we?
We need the Boss Baby manga. That's what we
The
need.
Boss Baby
'Cause
manga.
clearly, it is superior to A Silent Voice. You've already
Written
proven
by-
that.
Written by the same guys who did Madagascar, and voice taped by Alec Baldwin.
Yes. Anyways,
Thank you all so much for coming to watch us with MangaPod and watch us discuss Horimiya. Really, really appreciate it. Whether you're watching us live right now, thank you. If you're watching us live on, not live, the bottom of this on YouTube right now, thank you. You are so wonderful. We will see you guys when we come back in August. Again, keep your eyes on our subreddit, reddit.com/r/MangaPod, so that you know what our schedule will be looking like. Thank you guys so much. Bye-bye.
Bye. God, I'm drunk.